Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to give you the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles schedule with my analytics picking which teams will win. All right, let's get into it. First up, I want to talk about the new Eagles additions. We got Marquise Hollywood Brown, came from the Chiefs, solid receiver. I think he was their wide receiver 2 or 3. Um, Pretty good. Dontavian Wicks acquired in a trade with the Green Bay Packers, also a solid receiver. Those two are going to be fighting for the wide receiver 3 spot. Makai Lemon, drafted in the first round. He's probably going to be wide receiver 2. Eli Stowers, he's selected in the second round. He's probably going to be behind Dallas Goedert. I don't know how many reps we'll get. We'll see how he does in preseason. Um, Jonathan Grenard's a big one. Acquired via trade with the Jaguars, which, like, big time guy, did very well with the Vikings. But he's going to be a solid linebacker. Already is. He's going to help the Eagles unit. AJ Epinenza, defensive end. He signed to a veteran deal. He's going to strengthen the defensive pass rotation. Solid. Not terrible, not great, but solid overall. Reek Woolen, Super Bowl winner, recent Super Bowl champion. He's a cornerback. He's, I think, top 20 in the league. Surprised the Seattle let him go. He did have a little fiery spirit, so we'll see how he stays in line with the season. He's going to be working alongside Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, so that's going to be good. And then Andy Dalton, acquired from the Panthers to serve as a veteran backup. Um, he's definitely going to be helping Jalen Hurts, giving him good advice, stuff like that, seeing how this all goes. All right, let's get into the actual season. All right, regular season, week 1, we have the Commanders. I feel like the Eagles are going to pull this one out. Everyone's still new to the game. I would give the Eagles a slight advantage overall in their unit, offensive and defensive. I just haven't seen enough out of the Commanders' defense the last 2 years to say that they're going to be a competent defensive unit. Obviously, they added Sonny Styles, linebacker. But I don't think he's going to be enough to just bolster this defensive unit. So I'm giving the Eagles a win on that one. It's 1-0. They got the Titans, Cam Ward, Jordan Tyson, I think his name is. Those are going to be solid guys. But honestly, I would say the same thing for them. They're not going to have as much of an overall unit as the Eagles. And I'm going to give the Eagles a dub on this one. Week 3. We got the Bears. I think it's at the Bears. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at the Bears. Let's look. Um, yeah, I think it's at the Bears. Um, I'm going to give the Eagles 3-0 mainly because it's a revenge game. Um, Caleb Williams is still a solid quarterback. DeAndre Swift, great running back. I just think the Eagles are going to pull this one out. It's going to be a grueling one in the trenches, but I think the Eagles will get the dub. So 3-0 as of right now. Yeah, 3-0. We got the Rams up next. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is going to be a hard game. I'm honestly probably going to give the Eagles a loss here. I think the Rams are going to pull it out of the bag. Again, it's going to be another close game. I think the Rams are going to come away with the win and hand the Eagles their first loss of the season. So it's 3-1. Eagles with the Jaguars. It's going to be in London. Going to be a great game, great matchup. Trevor Lawrence, solid. Travis Hunter. Um, Overall, that unit is pretty good. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Eagles are going to win it. So I have them at 4-1 as of right now. I just don't think the Jaguars can pull it off. We got the Panthers. I feel like this is going to be a good game. I feel like Bryce Young is going to keep it close. Jalen Phillips left the Eagles, went over to the Panthers, and he's going to try and sack Jalen Hurts as much as he can. I think it's going to be a close game. A little bit of a frustrating game is how I'm feeling it's going to be. But I still feel like the Eagles are going to pull it out. Honestly, 5-1. The Cowboys. The Cowboys are. The Eagles usually split with the Cowboys. I feel like this one's going to be. I mean, as it is a division rival, I feel like it's going to be a really close game. Um, I feel like the Cowboys have finally worked on hitting a groove by this point in the season. I think they're not going to be solid. They're going to be good enough. I feel like they're going to hand the Eagles their second loss of the season, unfortunately. Um, but I also feel like it's going to be a close game, maybe a 3-point game. Um, Depends on how George Pickens, if he stays with the Cowboys, if he resigns. Dak Prescott, obviously a solid quarterback. CeeDee Lamb, very good wide receiver, top 10. Um, we'll see how he does. Their defensive unit's still very questionable, but I feel like they're going to pull this one off and give the Eagles 5-2. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 5-2. Um, we got the Commanders up next with against the Eagles. I feel like this is where Jaden Daniels is going to be either very injured or he's going to be back into his, I guess, kind of normal self. Solid quarterback. Going to be a very good matchup. I feel like they're going to keep it close. I feel like this one's going to be a toss-up depending on how Jane Daniels is doing during the season. Um, as of right now, I think I'm going to give the Eagles a loss here. I think that the Eagles are going to be solid, but I feel like the Commanders are going to reach this point where they finally know what they're doing, reach that point, and try and put on a performance again like they did 2 years ago during Jane Daniels' rookie season. Up next, the Giants. Giants are looking like a solid team as of right now. Getting John Harbaugh, Jackson Dart looking good. Cam Scadaboo's going to be back. Malik Neighbors hopefully recovering from his injury. Probably will be back by that point. They got some solid players. I feel like it's going to be a dogfight back and forth. I think it's maybe going to be more of a defensive matchup kind of dogfight. But I don't know for sure. I'm going to give the Eagles a win here, though. Because I feel like the Eagles are going to be able to pull it out. Up next, Steelers versus Eagles. We got Old Man Rodgers entering his final season, as presumably playing for the Steelers. Jalen Warren's looking solid. Still have DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, and then obviously TJ Watt, Highsmith, Alex Highsmith. That defense going to be solid. I feel like this is also going to be a defensive matchup. I'm going to say that I feel like the Eagles are going to pull this one out. But this is another toss-up. I'm not really sure about this one. Yeah, but I'm gonna give the Eagles an advantage here to move them up to 7-3. Eagles against the Cowboys. Like I said, normally we split. They split. I feel like the Eagles are gonna pull this one away here, though. I feel like the Eagles are going to be pretty good in the middle of the season. They're just going to be too solid. So I feel like either the Cowboys' defense has figured itself out by that point and their offense is still clicking, or it's just going to be a nightmare for that entire team. And I think that they're not going to be able to pull off the win here. So I'm going to give it to the Eagles to move them up to 9-2. Up next, we got the Cardinals. Not really much to say about here. They have Jacoby Brissett. They have Trey McBride. They have Marvin Harrison Jr. But that's about it, honestly. I feel like this one's going to be a pretty easy blowout. I'm going to give the Eagles a W here to move them up to 8-2. Sorry, I mean 9-2. Up next, we have the Colts. Solid team. Daniel Jones did great last year until his injury. Jonathan Taylor, spectacular. I feel like the Colts are going to give a good fight here. I think the Colts will hand them their third loss of the season. I feel like it's going to be I think it's going to be a close game. Maybe a field goal or a touchdown. But I feel like the Eagles are going to fall here to make them 8-3. 9-3, sorry. Up next we got the Seahawks. Seahawks are a tough team. Obviously won the Super Bowl this last year. I feel like they're on a bit of a downhill. Gonna be like Super Bowl fall off like the Eagles had 2 years ago. Well, last year. But I feel like the Seahawks are still going to be a solid team. They have to deal with the Rams and the Niners, but I feel like they're going to still be able to hold on. I'm going to give the Seahawks this win. Make the Eagles 9-4. I don't like it, but I still think Seattle has the overall better, younger, more talented defense in this situation. And yeah, and then that's going to make them 9-4. Texans versus Eagles. This is a must win here as they are 9-4, and they need to pull off a win. I feel like the Texans have a great defense. Going to be very hard to beat this year. I don't think they're going to be number 1 or 2. I don't remember what they were last year, but I don't think they're going to be number 1 or 2. I feel like the Eagles' defense is going to be solid as well. I'm going to say that the Eagles pull off the win. make it 10-4. Um, yeah, 11-4. Sorry. Um, Up next, the Eagles have the 49ers. Now, this is the wild card rematch. Revenge game, obviously. The offense got embarrassed for the Eagles, and their defense just couldn't hold on during the game. Eagles, I think, will have this as a win. I feel like it's going to be very close, just like in the wild card. I feel like it's going to be a very low scoring game. Um, Given that the Niners defense is going to be like more healthy. But yeah, I'm going to give the Eagles this dub, but it's going to be very, very close, in my opinion, to give the Eagles the 12-4 that they need. And then finally, they have the Giants. Um, they're going to rest all their starters, without a doubt. They might play a few starters, but I doubt that they're going to play many. The Giants have a chance to be the second best team in the NFC East, but I just don't think that they're going to pull it off, so they're going to probably play all their starters. I'm going to give the Giants the W on this one. I feel like the Giants are going to be the only team to beat the Eagles twice in the NFC East. Of course, these are all guesses, predictions, um, based off coaching and stuff like that. That's how I feel. But yeah, I feel like the Eagles are going to have an overall all record of 11-6. It's not going to be pretty. Um, Let me double check to make sure I did the math right. And I think my math is right, so I think the Eagles will have an overall record of 11-6. Comment down below what you think of the predictions. I'd love to do one for your team. If you comment down below, what team should I do next? Thank you all very much, and have a great rest of your day.